Well, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back to another week and another stream. Welcome back again. It's good to see you. I hope your weekend was alright. I hope your days are getting brighter because of it's getting further along in the year, and hopefully it should be getting warmer and nicer weather outside, even though it's actually not really here. Pretty much here, the weather is just decided yeah, we're just gonna be ass the entire year. But you know, it's what it is. It's what it is. Trinity, did you just start streaming? Yes, I did. And you just caught the stream right as we began. I mean, I wouldn't really I wouldn't necessarily do that beginning countdown streams thing if I wasn't streaming. Why would I do that in the middle? Why would I do that in the middle? I mean, it makes sense. If I'd start that in the middle, I'd just be like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna take a 5-minute break, cause, hey. But yeah, how's it going? How are you doing? Mika, what is up, man? How are you doing? What is that emote? 2020 pajamas. Limited time only emote. Ooh, I just got home from work, 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. Ooh, that is some rough times. Seriously, the 4 a.m. basically means you pretty much are gonna have to wake up kind of at 3 if your work is really close to where you live, but otherwise at 2. And seriously, 2 a.m. for me, the cut down point where I just don't function anymore is 2 to 4 a.m. It's over, okay? It's I can go late until 12, at most 1 a.m. That's a late night. Then I need to sleep, and I can go as early as 4:30 sort of thing, and I'll be okay. If I go at between 2 and 4 a.m., that's when I need to sleep. If I don't, I'll just be, yeah, that will just fuck with me. You guys are sleeping? Yeah, Mika, we do this thing where we close our eyes and then we experience weird shit. We might just do drugs with our eyes closed, but we call it sleeping. Actually, can you imagine that no one needed to sleep, and then you explain to people they're oh, there's this thing which you can do, which is sleeping. Can you imagine that no one needed sleep, but you could still sleep if you wanted to? And I was just yeah, you know what you can do is you can just go and lay down, and then close your eyes, and then magical pictures and stuff will happen. It's no one will fucking believe you. Seriously, no one will believe you. Anyway, one thing which you may have noticed when it comes to the Discord right now is that I have changed something up right here. It is not showing up. That's what I'm doing. Obviously my stream setup works very well, and it's not showing up like it's supposed to. But let me show you something really cool. Let me show you something, actually, not really cool. Something which is intended to work at some point, but isn't working right now. But you might be wondering, what the fuck's going on here? So yeah, Discord base. Let me see if I can go and find Discord. Why is Discord not opening up the Discord thing? There we go. Now we should have the Discord thing. So as you can see right here, we have Barra's butt plug plugging the stream, and what we find is that there is a bit.ly link. Apparently with the way that the bots are set up, if I use this, it should embed the thing in the sense that you'll see what the stream title is, and you should certainly see what we're playing and see a little preview of it, which right now, the only thing which you see right now is this. So I'm gonna have to check why it's not showing up with that, but that's why it shows that. It will just still link to the stream, that bit.ly is also links to the YouTube videos sort of thing. So that is what that is, but we're trying to fix it up. So Fox, what's up, man? How's it going? Dude, new account. Pork chop ramen. Oh man, had to make a new account because my other account has a broken 2-factor authentication. Damn, dude. But hey, welcome, man. Welcome. This stream is held together through prayers at this point. What makes you think that? What makes you think that this stream is held together by prayers? What makes you think that this stream is held together at all? Oh man, oh man, oh man. But it's good to see you, man. It is good to see you. I already saw that 2 days ago, someone followed the channel. I was yo, I didn't stream them. Or at least I think. Maybe I accidentally turned on my camera and y'all just saw me sit around and just be or saw me rage at Apex, which I've also been doing. I do have good news, by the way. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. Smack me with that good news. Come on, I'm ready. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Did you buy Doge when it and sold it when it was high up? Did you buy Ethereum and then sold it before it went down? I don't know. We all die. Oh, that's the good news. I guess that's good news. I guess that's good news. Hey. Oh man. But like, take your time, write it up. I'll just continue on, and then like once I see your message, I got an apartment. Oh my god, that's so cool, dude. Oh man, that's amazing to hear, dude. That is so cool. So what's it like? Like, do you have like a nice space? Can you look out somewhere where you're like, oh my god, I can see a great space? It's like, yeah. If we die, do we respawn? Is there evidence that we don't? Espionage. Is there evidence that we don't? Because the thing is, what do you remember before the time that you were born? No one remembers what their time was before they were born. So, technically, you can't say like, oh man, I remember it being way different. So, yeah, it's a really small place, but it's better than nothing, dude. Like, seriously, I am really, really glad for you that you got your own place. And like, I hope that you can like start like filling it up, making it yours, and just like, you know, making it what it like, yeah, making it your own home. Like, that is really, really, really like, that is something which goes underappreciated, having your own place, I think, because it's something that people take for granted. But yeah, not if I'm spawn camping. Oh my god. Where would you be spawn camping, Mika? Where would you be spawn camping? Actually, like, what would be the best like respawn starts? Like, what if you had like respawn banners so you could like bring people back? Oh my god. I've been playing too much Apex, but Espionage, how's it going? How are you doing? Like, seriously, I'm really, really enjoying that game. I actually have an idea of like something cool, but I kind of want to get like talk to someone that like also plays Apex sort of thing. So like I've been trying to like get in touch with Defton or Mogamo or so, because like I might have an idea for something which we did with Warframe, but then like also like because like I kind of miss events. I kind of miss like big things that we're working towards too. And I think that the Apex community might potentially have a possibility for like doing things again where we're working up towards like big things, and we're gonna have like a lot of people involved and just like have a great bunch of good times, to where we can like meet new people for like other creators that we interact with who might be in the Apex community who we don't know right now, or other people that are in that community right now who we don't know, where we can like, you know, they might join our community and just like talk random stuff with us. I don't know. And if Apex isn't down for it, we'll just find another game, I guess. I guess we'll just find another game. Porkchop says, I mean, do you want me to call you Porkchop, or do you want me to call you Fox? It's like, I know some people are like, oh no, just stick to my original name. And some people are like, no, I don't want you to call me Retro Raptor anymore. I don't want you to call me... God, what was his Phil and Leia. I know. Phil and Leia. I can't say, let's see. No, I can't say that because my FBI agent will get all worked up. Who knows? Maybe I'm your FBI agent. I mean, forget about that. Forget about that. Otherwise, you know, I'll have to, like, you know, report you for, like, all the shit you did today online. I've been watching. I mean, that sounds so wrong. Oh my god. You can choose. I'm used to both. Alright, I'll probably be mixing them up then. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys' weekend was nice. I hope you guys' weekend was good. We didn't have a stream on Friday. I'm sorry for that. Something got up. But other than that, like, seriously, I've had a pretty good weekend. It's been kind of relaxing. It's like I kind of like got round to like finishing up a lot of things which I still had in the works. That means though that that today I've actually been able to you know, complete like recording a video. It is in the works right now. It should probably be coming out tomorrow. That should be a video on the gaming channel, and hopefully we should move over to like a video on the main channel again and see where it goes. So yeah, bad news, heartbroken. Oh, sorry, man. I'm sorry that that happens. It happens in life. Unfortunately, life is complicated, and especially when it comes to like other people. Why do other people need to be so complicated? I don't know. Who did it? Who do we have to kill? We're here to exact vengeance. Listen up. Any of you get hurt, you just point to the person that did it. We'll come after them. I'm watching them all. I'm watching everyone all the time. I'm like the omniscient, omnipresent writer. So like I'll know everyone. I'll know where everyone is. And then like if someone wrongs you, I mean like I should technically know about it, but I don't, because that wouldn't really make a fun story. So you tell, and then like we just like go confirm that sort of shit. If you kill it, I'll snap your neck without regret. Oh man. Or just joking. We wouldn't actually, like, threaten someone. Mitcha, dude, man, how's it going? Dude, how are you doing? Oh, it's been a while. How have you been? I hope you've been alright. I hope you've been doing okay. I hope Like, you've been enjoying the great weather we've been having in Holland. It's been absolute goddamn trash. Like, seriously. It's like, compared to last year. Last year, we just had, like, we had summer from, like, March onward. Like February was just, like, rain and shit and storms, like, everything. And then, technically, like, pretty much, like, the moment Corona hit was just, like, bright blue skies and sunshine. So, she might have broken my heart, but she's still the best person I know. I'm glad you still, like, feel that way, because like that's one thing which I've often wondered about, and like I found that too, where I'm like I've been really good friends with people, and now I can't stand to see them anymore because like things happened. But the thing remains is like we got in contact because we had a lot in common, and like at the end of the day, like maybe like the relationship wasn't meant to be as close as some, like maybe both or one of you wanted it to be. However, the fact that you have a lot of things in common, and technically if you can just like get over, actually don't take this the wrong way, that doesn't mean that you should just get over it, but technically if you can just like if you're able to like set aside that, hey, you know, some conflicts happens or some things happen where like it didn't work out, and like the expectations that we had about like, or one of us had, or like didn't quite work out, you know, what if we just like take it like down a notch or something, like if that works, like you can still be really good friends. So yeah, let's see, I'm doing fine. I finally moved to the other side of the Netherlands. Damn, dude. Oh, that must have been like a big move. A tip though, do not move in COVID times. Actually, I would actually assume that would be something that people would take to heart, but I know so many people that have been like moving around. It's insane. So many houses are being bought. So many people are like, oh, I'm gonna decide to move, and I'm like, right now? Y'all want to move right now? Y'all want to move at this point in time when, like, you know, something going wrong? Like, I can't, like, at least I can't be like, oh, like, I don't have to help them out, because I can't. So, like, that's something where I'm like, like, I'm glad that, like, it's COVID, so I don't have to be like, because, like, that's the thing, is like, you know, I swim a bit. So, like, I'm kind of strong, so like every single time people just like come around and be like, oh hey, you're kind of strong, can you help me like move, can you help me carry things? I'm just like, right now I just don't have to worry about that, because I'm like, you know, COVID. So yeah, but damn dude, I hope you moved to a nice place, man. I hope you moved to a nice place. And yeah, Mika, watching, I'm not joking, we'll seriously come over stop you there, put a bullet between, why Fox just would, okay, hold on. First of all, we're joking. So we get it. Let's make sure that like, as long as like I'm totally fine with like going into territories which are a little bit edgy when it comes to jokes, which is why like I'm totally down with like, you know, going certain ways, but let's make sure that we're not like being serious sort of thing in threats and stuff, because that is something I gotta watch out for, sort of thing. I don't really want to have like that bad thing going there, like going on there. It's just like, if you're like, oh man, like this joke like doesn't land, which you pointed out, where it's like, yo, no, we're so best friends, like we get it. So that is something where I'm just like, yeah, no, I get it. I know you're joking, but I'm very protective. Yeah, dude, I get that. And it's good that you say like, oh man, because like, seriously, y'all think that like, we're really gonna go after someone? Like, we don't have that capabilities of fighting someone, like seriously, and if we would, like, we wouldn't say it. It's just like, it's just kind of like, it's kind of like a meme where we're like, oh my god, who do we have to go after? Where even if you would, like, we would never even expect you to say a name. Like, I would actually like remove that message right away. I would probably be like, why the fuck are you saying a name? Because like that'd be scary. Like, that's not the territory I want to get in. But it's just like we mean that we like, yeah. So, but I get it. Just want to set that straight. Because I don't want to out of like a meme that like Trinity throws up in for us to then like be like, oh, there'll be like bad blood, because everyone is just like trying, like having a good time here, or trying to have a good time. So always good though to like point out where we're like your border slide, where you're like, okay, well actually like this isn't funny. Like, feel free to point it out, because like, and like this is what I very much feel, is that I just love for everyone just to be able to like be themselves here. And I think that like we as a community can like kind of like shape each other, sort of thing, in the sense of, hey, you know, if you want to like try being funny, if you want to try like some jokes, if you want to try a certain style, because like many people have many different styles of humor. Like, I would love for everyone to like express themselves as they are, because I don't like people to like hide themselves. However, it also means that like if people are able to express themselves who they are, it also means that like they're not free from the responsibility of like how people will react to them. So like that's also where we're like, if you're like, oh man, I don't like this, say it, fucking say it. Just be like, man, I don't like this, stop here, and like we'll adjust. And like because of that, like we'll just, you know, socialize, sort of thing. That's kind of like pretty much like how culture shapes us. in generally a good way, because you have this thing where you'll hear from other people what's good and what's bad, and like I love that. No, dude, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry for bringing negativity. It's just that I've been quite aggressive after she broke my heart. Dude, I can get that. I can get that. And like seriously, like I don't feel anything bad towards you. Like seriously, no. I just want to point out, like, watch out where you're going there, because like, you know, let's say that like Mika might interpret that wrong, or like let's say that like, you know, like I don't necessarily know the intonation you have when you're saying that, so like that's something where I'm like, I don't want there to be like bad blood, because like there was a bit of a joke sort of thing. Anyway, but yeah, we moved to Drenthe, which has always been a dream of mine. Oh my god, that is so like, seriously, I've been there last year. It's so spacious. Oh man, that is so cool. No more run stuff, dude. I get that. Oh. How's like going to the shops now? Because like going to the shops right now is like from like a walking distance or bike ride to like probably like a long bike ride or like a car ride. So how's that? Like, how's that transition's been? And like no more probably no more planes like flying by every like so often, or like hearing the highway all the time. Like I actually feel that might be a reason why people are moving so much during COVID times, because like the work from home thing is like it showed us that you don't need to live in the city anymore. And I think that is something really interesting. I really can't wait to see like how this will work out, because like now that we technically don't need to live in the city anymore for like online servers jobs. So like basically where you have to sit at a computer, you don't have to need that computer to be at an office somewhere. You can also have that computer be all the way across the country, or like be somewhere else. So that kind of allows people to not have to live in the city anymore, where like houses are really expensive, where like paying rent is really expensive, where like traveling around by car, like fuel prices are really expensive, where you have to pay for like parking your car even at your job sort of thing. Is like you don't have to deal with that expensiveness, where like you pay down a lot of money for like a really small place, and you live in this place where like everyone is really loud, where like you'll like look into each other's like rooms basically, because you were so stacked up on each other, and like y'all don't have fiber internet, because like apparently the countryside is like all full of fiber internet. Like they got the good shit, we don't. So it's like, it's nice. And like seriously, I love the countryside. I seriously feel like I might move at some point to a countryside and just stream from there, if streaming ever takes off, sort of thing. So yeah, let's see. All I'm saying is I hope you're so good friends. When me and Travis stopped dating, he stopped talking to me, but I'm fine with that. I mean, things happen, and like seriously, I mean, like I have the same thing with like a bunch of my friends. Like there are people where like actually quite funny. Like one of the people where I completely stopped talking to, or like would completely stop talking to me, and thus like I completely ceased communication with them as well. They actually just like replied to like one of my comments like lately that just left on like a random video, and was like, okay, so at least you're still alive. But like sometimes spring sports work that way, and sometimes you just like. Sometimes it's fine, and sometimes there's like, you know, I don't know, like things could still be better. I don't know. A fan. Did you put that subscription in last week and only now we're able to like show it up? Because I saw that like last week, I think first day, like we went from 6 up points to 7, but there was no like actual thing that went going on, and now it comes in. So I was actually expecting that like that might have been you. We actually moved to a city from a relatively small town, but that's something my girlfriend really wanted. But we're a 10-minute drive from all sorts of awesome nature, which was not the case in the Runsub. Dude, oh man, that is so cool. Have you played a new Resident Evil? No, I have not. I actually don't have, like, I have not played the new Resident Evil, because I have actually been playing, or like, we actually started, like, last week, Thursday, we started Horizon Zero Dawn, and I kind of want to complete that, and then afterwards, I want to see where we're going to go, because, like, seriously, I can go down for Nier Replicant, because that is a game which I've heard is quite good, but, like, then again, like, a lot of people that I know that are really, like, good, like, Nier fans, like, haven't had the time to finish it, so I could play that. I could play Resident Evil, the new one, which, like, I actually have never played one before, so it might just be a good time to like get into the franchise, or really need to like go back a few times. And then we also have like the Titanfalls, which I kind of want to play because they have like a background with Apex, and I've been really enjoying Apex, so that's something we could do. But basically, I first want to do like Horizon Zero Dawn, because that's something where I'm like, I really enjoyed that game. I've never played it in its entirety before, and it's free right now on PlayStation. If you have a PlayStation right now, you don't need to have PlayStation Plus, you don't need to have anything but a PlayStation 4 or 5. You can get Horizon Zero Dawn, the complete edition, for absolutely free until May 14th. So there's 4 more days. You can get that, and like there are a bunch of more games, because Sony's giving that away because of like Corona times. So get that if you don't have it yet, and I kind of want to do that 2 more times this week. And then kind of like see how long the story still goes on for, because I really enjoy playing that, and then we'll see where we move on to. So yeah. Is there madness in the meaningless meaning of meaningfulness? Well, technically, I feel that, and like there could be, or there could not be, depends on your opinion. And the reasoning for that is because you use the word meaning, and meaning is, in my opinion, subjective. So that's the thing, is that the moment that like it unfolds meaning, that's technically subjective as far as I'm concerned. So you can, like, it can be madness to you, or it can't be madness to you, depending on like what you feel like. Fox says she doesn't talk to me anymore, but I'll love her forever. I hope at some point that might change, in the sense of like maybe she won't talk to you anymore, but she won't talk to you again, but who knows? We'll see. But yeah, like I strongly believe that like meaning is very much like a subjective thing, because like based on values, and I don't think like I've had a big thing. That's something Xena loves to say, like I've had a big thing. I always have to think of like Drew, and he's like, oh, I've done a lot of that thing, and I came out with this conclusion. I had a big thing, and this is my result. And like I often wonder, like, what does that look like when Xeno, like, you know, does a big think? Like, does he just sit like that, like, and does sit like that for a lot of times? Like, does he do that in his chair? Does he do that on like on the toilet? Does he do that, like, looking out over like looking out over like the city landscape and just thinking and looking like that? I don't know. So you have embarked learning kanji, or was that just one strange thing? So what I'm doing now, like I have started to, because okay, so like what I've been doing, I really haven't had that much time to learn Japanese. I'm absolutely fucking ashamed of myself, because like I said at the start of the year I wanted to like get to it, but like seriously, time has been so fucking short, trying to incorporate everything. But like, okay, so like, what the fuck are these numbers in the back? I don't know. But like some of the things which I used to do, like, so I've been trying to figure out like what's the best way to learn, because like seriously, like it's like I've been like making progress with the scripts has been kind of hard, because like I first tried doing this sort of stuff where it's like just like repeating them sort of thing, but like this gets really fucking boring to me. It doesn't really work, because like I'll have it for like a second, and I don't learn anything of the language. Like I want to learn something of the language. So like what I'm doing right now is like I'm taking like text and stuff, especially also from like every anime, like so some anime which I watch right now, like I'll take like their title cards, because they're oftentimes like 2 sentences or something, and what I'll do is like I'll write it out in like the scripts that they give, because a lot of times they also like give like the hiragana or katakana above the kanji, and then like I'll go and translate them. I'll take them. I'll also take the kanji. So like I'll also learn about the kanji at the same time, and like see where that comes from. And because of that, like I can actually like get involved with the scripts at the same time, like all 3 scripts sort of thing, hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Where like I actually see how the sentences build up, and like see how the language works, but at the same time also like familiarize myself with the scripts, and like because that engages me a lot more than like simply like trying to like remember. Like it just doesn't work. It just didn't work for me, especially right now, because I don't always have that much time. University should be like winding down in a couple of months, like in a couple of weeks, because then like it'll be the end of the year, and then we'll have more time. But so I want to do something right now, especially when I just like have like an extra hour or something, or an extra half an hour. Like that's oftentimes what it comes down to. And I don't want to be like copying, like gets boring to me. So like that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. So Fox, you can be wherever you want to. I don't necessarily need to know your location all that much. Especially if you're taking a shit. I hope you're taking a mean ass shit. I'm hoping you're taking a very good shit. But I don't need to like EDP 445 see pictures of your shit, because that has been a fucking riot as well. My god. I am not that much into YouTube drama at all, but this has been like one fucking crazy story, in the sense of like I haven't even followed it all that much. I've just been watching like Charlie, and like seriously like following him through his videos, and like oh my god. So if you guys don't know that situation, basically there was like this YouTuber where I had never ever seen his videos, but like apparently he was at like 2 million subscribers or something. His name was EDP445, with his name with EDP standing for eating that pussy or something. And I don't know what kind of videos he made, but apparently he got caught in like a Chris Hansen style situation, but by another YouTuber, where he was like trying to like get in touch with like an underage girl sort of thing, the thing that they had set up. So like they set up like some sort of account where they like pretended to be an underage girl, and like speak to him, and like contact him, and like see if they could get them to meet sort of thing. And then to prove that he was like you know, a bad guy. And the fun thing is that like I have not seen the like screenshots of that conversation. I've just heard this for like Moist Critical's videos. But like seriously, it's like he would just text that person that would like act as though they were like an underage girl. Like they would just like text, like he would just text them like, "Oh, I'm taking a mean ass shit right now," and then send pictures of his shit. And it's like, in what kind of world do you live where you think it's okay to say, "I am taking a mean ass shit right now," and then send a picture of your shit? What? For what? Also, Fim, thank you so much for that 15 bucks. Oh my god, I appreciate that. I just communication with people faster than a heartbeat, but if I'm shown their fecal matter, I know, right? If I get that shit, dude, get the fuck out. Get the fuck, I'm blocking you. I'm not speaking to you ever again. I do not give a shit. That's bad word choice. Maybe it's appropriate word choice. I don't care. If you're gonna send me a picture of your shit, there's no context. There's no context in which that could be okay, I think. I can't imagine a context in which that would be okay. I mean, like, at that point in time, he should have known, like, if this was a real person, if this was a real fucking person, I should have, like, you know, then they would have stopped talking to me. So this must be, but I mean, like, he didn't. But then again, like, the person that was, like, Chris Hansing him, like, the person was kind of, like, trying to intercept him, sort of thing. But yeah. Like, he was also, like, a big piece of shit, and he also got banned from YouTube. Like, both of them got banned from YouTube. It's, like, a really weird situation, so. What if it's some really cool-looking shit? How could it be, like, a really cool-looking shit? Are you shitting in figures? Are you, like, trying to, like, make some shit art? Oh my god. Oh my god. Jen, I gotta ask, does this exist? Your expanding knowledge, like, very wide knowledge of, like, weird art and crazy things in life, especially pertaining to art. I know that you have like a vast amount of knowledge from there, knowing from like which school you came from. Like, does that exist? I mean, like, I bet if we can think of like people making art out of shit, like probably there are people in this world that will do that, but I'm not gonna look that up. Not that I'll 100% be banned off of Twitch if I show that. And secondly, I don't want that in my search history or in my life, because I will just have to like bleach my eyes after that. I don't want to see that shit. I literally do not want to see that shit. Oh my god. Anyway, let me actually go and go to Streamlabs and check out the message that you send there. I need to set up like a better system sort of thing in which like I can reach chat and also like have the donation things show up. But like I'm working on like a new alert system. So the thing is right now, like if I log into Streamlabs, the chat disappears. I don't know, Wolf thought that was a great idea, but apparently like the chat disappears. So everyone just like spam Kappa in chat or something. The nude thing is a necessary thing for art, but no, shit isn't used for art, at least to my knowledge. I mean, like, syringes were also not used for art. So that is something where I'm like, It wasn't just the nude thing. It was more things. You know, your collection of tales spans far and wide, so that's why I feel maybe there would have been like some random like guest that your school invited. I mean, like seeing what kind of like guest your school invited, that must have been weird. Yeah, I don't know, that was a weird time. So yeah. All right. Actually, I'll be writing this down. I'll be writing this down. What I'm doing right now, actually, I don't think I have ink in this pen. What I'm doing right now is whenever like someone like sends me like somewhat simple Japanese text, like I'll write it down in like a list of like right here, and then I'll like, you know, translate like most of the time these tend to be like common things that there are set, so like I can like get used to, like, because I want to learn standard phrases too. So let me go and like write this down real quickly. I know that like technically I'm streaming, but I mean like it's fucking like just chatting, so I can do whatever I want. I mean, it's my stream, so I can still do whatever I want. So yeah. There we go. honestly, like like one thing which I find very fascinating when it comes to like Japanese, like the way that the script works, and like it is so cool to see how like you have certain flows in like scripts. Like I've also learned, I've also grappled with, what is it? I've also grappled with, she just texted me. She has a boyfriend since today. Someone killed me. I mean, she's moving on, man. She's moving on, and I guess let me say it like this. Let me put it like this. It may be really rough right now because like it is tough. At the same time, at least, you know, like you have certainty sort of thing. It gives you like a chance to move on. Like there is like, I know that this can be really rough, and like this might, like you might even believe me when I say this, but like it is so much better to hear that people say no chance in hell, it is over, I'm moving on, and like I have someone new, it's done, rather than that they're like, oh man, like no, this don't work anymore, and then they just come back like, maybe it can work, or like, I don't know, and like, no, it won't work. It's like, that entire like hope, no hope, that shit murders you, man. Honestly, I think like the worst thing you can do to someone is just like be friends with them for a while, or like engage with them, like get a good relationship with them for a while, and then just like let it like sit. Just let it sit. And then sometimes like a lot of times just like not engage with them, just like completely ignore them, do nothing, and then like give them a little bit of hope. And then just like do nothing for a real life and give them a little, like that shit sucks. I'd rather have you say to my face that you fucking hate me and you never want to speak to me, and then I know what you're like. But yeah, so yeah. But yeah, as Espino says, like it's heartbreaking for sure, and it's time to move on. Like there are so many more like really cool people in this world, like seriously. And I know that can be hard because like I've also had those questions. Where there was like, where this was that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, like there's so many people out there, but it can be really rough to find them. It can be really rough to like find where to go, sort of thing, at that point in time. Anyway. Yeah, nude specifically, unless there's penetration action like blowjobs is necessary. Like blowjobs are necessary. Oh man, just other things like semen in a syringe and barrel rolling on bottle caps is what's weird, even if it's expression of oneself. I'm gonna go for a bit. I'm sorry, dude. I get that, man. I get that. Take your time. Do whatever works for you best right now to like, you know, a theme. Come in with the $5. Oh man. Oh, this is oh fuck, this is so much. Oh shit, it's a haiku. Fuck. Hold on. Okay, so like I'm gonna translate it right now, but like I'll write this over, and then like, cause like I want to figure out a kanji there as well. But yeah, if I put in translate here, it says, hold on. I said unless, so no blowjobs aren't. It has it has. So yeah, haiku. Oh my god, I get so self-conscious when it comes to like a language I don't know. Like I haven't really spoken yet. Furike ya kairu tobikomu mitsuo ne matsuo basho. So old pond, jump into the frog, jump into the frog, the sound of I want to translate this better. Like I want to translate this better. Google Translate sucks sometimes. Oh man, that's so cool. And it's so cool. But yeah, like I think yeah, Matsuo Basho being the writer. Yeah, I figured that out. Yeah. That's really cool. Like haiku are like, I think haiku is like kind of like a great way of like, if you can speak the language, like being able to like make like rhyme and literature sort of thing in it, like and haiku sort of thing. If you can like play around with the language, then you kind of master it. There's over 500 translations for it. Damn, that is fascinating. I mean, it's kind of like Latin sort of thing. So yeah, it's the most common and popular Japanese haiku. I did not know that actually. When I say shit art, I mean art made with actual shit. I said unless, so no, blowjobs aren't. Oh my god. Honestly, like, people do crazy shit for art. Like, seriously, it is it kind of like fascinates me to the extent that people will go for like what was it like? Okay, so like I think recently there was this thing where someone destroyed a piece of art because the art was like a wall of like hold on, let me see if I can find it. A couple damages art by painting on it. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Oh my god. Oh fuck. Jesus Christ. I hate content not being available in your region. How are we at a point in time where seriously, like, we're on the internet. There should not be region things and stuff. Like, seriously, that is dumb. Like, that is like the most horrible. It's like on the internet. Everyone should be able to like reach out and see things on the internet. Well, haikus used to be part of a larger poem composed by lords, families, and friends together in a group. The haiku only start in the theme. Ooh, interesting. Anyway, so this right here just like makes me laugh sometimes when it comes to art. So young couple mistakenly vandalizes $440,000 painting in South Korea. So this right here, as you can see, is a crime in action. People demolishing a work of art. So what was this work of art, as you can see? Let's go read the story. An art piece by American graffiti artist showcased in South Korea was damaged by their couple in their 20s who thought the sets of paint and brushes laid in front of the artwork was for spectators to use. So like, look at this. I mean, I'm not saying that like there isn't like a grand vision behind this, that this isn't art. I mean, sure. But like seriously, if you look at this, do you not think like, oh man, like this is just a wall what people paint on? And then like literally they have wet paint, like not just like dried up paint which you can't use. They have wet paint and brushes laying in front of it. It's like, what do you expect people to do? What do you expect people to do? It's like seriously. So basically like what they did is like the couple damaged it through the sets of paint and brushes laid in front of the artwork. They thought that it was for the spectators' use. Staff of the gallery exhibition noticed new brushstrokes on the wall, small swipes of dark green and to the right of the center last. First, after checking the security camera, 2 suspects were taken by the police for investigation. I actually don't get why you're taken by the police at that point in time. Like, that should be where the police steps in and like, yeah, but like that makes no fucking sense. Like, how can this even be a police case? It's like, dude, like you're putting brushes and paint, wet paint, and real brushes in front of a piece that looks like it's just like people like brushing it. That's not our business. That is not our. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay. Anyway, let's see here. Anyway, the agency that organized the exhibition told ABC News is currently negotiating with the artists to take appropriate steps. We called the police immediately and talked to the insurance company for the damaged artwork. But as the agency in charge, we do the best to minimize the harm to the couple who unintentionally vandalized the work. According to Kang, the graffiti was not framed due to its large size. The vandalized art was very long, and it was the only piece without frames. Given the circumstance, the young couple does not seem to have done it intentionally. I hope the piece gets restored to meet the audience like it did before. The damaged art piece was worth a lot, according to the agency. The graffiti untitled, like for God's sake, man, at what point do we get to art where it's like it's just literally a scam? Like, I'm not saying that this piece is a scam. Like maybe this artist is like I've not seen it in its entirety. I've not seen it in person. I don't know, but at what point in time do we just get to like the point where it's like, hey, I got a lot of money, I need to pay taxes. What if I pay someone to make a piece of art and then like I can give it and like that will deduct from my tax because it's like cultural enrichment or something. You know what? I'll just like, hey, you there, just make something. We'll call it art and we'll sell it. Like I'll put a lot of money into it and then we'll sell it for like more money. It's like, it feels like a scam. It feels like a scam. I mean, like, I know that there's different styles. I'm not saying that like you only have to make portraits or something. Like there can be many different styles. Just in the same way as video is. Just in the same way like, but still, at a certain point in time, you know, where are we going to? Anyway, the decision to display performance equipment in front of the work goes back to 2016, when he completed the artwork in question during the Graffiti Museum show, The Great Graffiti. When the piece was completed, it was displayed along the props used by the artist, which is in the same display now. The paint and brushes used by the artist comprise a complete set with the thing. I mean, like, what do you expect? He explained that the props were part of the exhibition to help highlight the history of the artist's work. Like, I mean, look at that. Are you like, yo, man, like, if you didn't know that, I think it's this part here. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's this part here. What they did. It's like, how would you know? How would you know? Like, can I make this bigger? Can I make this bigger? Open image, new tab. Like, how would you know that like this part here doesn't belong, sort of thing? Like, it's so strange. Art is so strange to me. Since the accidental painting, the agency in charge of the exhibition has provided additional guidelines for spectators and increased the surveillance around the work to prevent such misunderstandings from taking place again. Due to the characteristics of the contemporary art, there are many happenings like these going forward. They must take extra care in protecting the work. Anyway, so like that was like a crazy story recently. Afim says, I'm planning to get fiber, and then, oh, no more internet problems, hopefully. Because like I know that internet has been a bit spotty for you, and like hopefully it will be better. Where was this again? It was in South Korea. So yeah, it's nice, but I feel but I feel it looks not that aesthetically appealing to me. I can understand that if they were making the beach or cosmic like sky with it, but that just feels like someone started out an IKEA frame building and they just slapped a chair to build in one room and call it a day. If you want more accurate information on kanji, just go to the Japanese resources at your leisure. Oh, you posted something new! This is actually a trustworthy dictionary specific for kanji, given the stroke order, the type kanji, the pronunciations, and the meanings, with some examples of compound words. In the search bar, just type hashtag kanji, and then every kanji you want. No need for space or any punctuation between the kanji. That's so cool! That is really, really cool. Let me open that site. Let me go take a look. Oh wow, that is pretty awesome. Oh, you can like draw it? The red. Oh man, that is so cool. Alright, I'll be using this for sure. Honestly, modern art doesn't speak for me, or at least any artist that doesn't like it. The thing which I find with art is that I feel sometimes art is given a free pass, right? It's like, oh man, that's art, you know? It's like, you can't criticize because it's art. It's like, no. Okay, here's the thing. I think that technically anything can be art. Like, if, like, I'm not, like, saying, like, you need to have a certain style of art. That is art. It's like, I've seen it with YouTube videos in the sense where it's like, oh, no, you can't, like, make entertainment, which is like you playing a video game. Well, I guess you can. Oh, you can't make entertainment, which is like you talking to someone in a podcast form. Oh, and I guess you can. Oh, you can't make, like you can't, like, make entertainment by live streaming to, like, people online. It's like, I guess you can. So, like, I'm really open to, like, people trying out new ideas and, like, going against the flow to, like, try things that they think is interesting. And I can really expect it. I can really respect it, even if I don't personally understand it. If, like, there's someone that makes something and there's an audience for it, like, fine, man. Go ahead. However, you shouldn't be like, oh, I just put, like, a stripe on a piece of paper. Like, literally, a stripe on a piece of paper, or a dot, which has happened before as well. Or a dot, and that's art. And right now, like, everyone's gonna respect this as art, and everyone's gonna say, like, oh, it's so good. Oh my god, I can't imagine the creativity. Where everyone is just bullshitting each other. I hate that. It's like, I hate bullshit in general. I just hate fucking, like, people that just bullshit each other. It's like, oh no, I get it, I can see the vision. It's like, no, you can't. Unless you can, then, like, say it. Like, of course, that's your opinion. But I feel like a lot of times people are just bullshitting. At that point in time, I was like, oh, I gotta put a lot of money to this. I don't understand this, but it's worth a lot of money, so I'll put a lot of money into it. It's like, god dang it, just stop. It's time to stop. Villager, what's up, man? How are you doing? Let's see. Fear of literature, fear of government, fear of music, fear of anything. Trying to explain art. If art is made as an expression, it should be allowed. And it should be allowed, then opinion is for sure an expression and should also be allowed. Like I heard a story about a guy who painted a portrait of his dead mom for a contest, and the one person that beat him in first place was a guy just adding a fucking dot on the canvas. I know, right? I've got 1 follower now, so I'm a terrible poetic artist. Don't let that discourage you. Don't let that discourage you. Like, don't look at follower counts. Look at the channel. Look at my channel, for instance. Like, we were at almost 2,200 followers at the start of the year. Now we're almost 2,100. It's going down, but hey, you know. Does that make me a bad streamer? Maybe it does, but I don't care, because I like it. I enjoy doing it. I don't give a fuck. Blue Demon, what is up, man? How's it going? Also, Fitter, how you doing, man? How you doing? I don't think I've said hi to you yet. But yeah. Couldn't have said it better at this point. Art is bullshit. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit art. I'm not saying that all art is bullshit, because there's also a lot of art which is, like, really impressive, like, really seriously impressive, but yeah. I'm doing okay. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. I hope you had a good weekend. Let me see. But yeah, speaking of, like, if art is made an expression and then like, an opinion should be allowed, this is something where, like, I feel I don't like where social media is going nowadays. Like, there's two things which I don't like about social media at this point in time. Is one is people like trying to like show that they're like trying to like hide the fact that they're human, and two is social media platforms hiding like the negative parts of the world. It's like everyone like hiding the negative, and like I don't like that, because as much as I hate the negative, as much as I hate like how bad some things can be, I really appreciate that there is negative stuff out there, because I can learn to deal with it. Like, I don't want that to be hidden. I don't want to live in a world where, let's say, this world right here. Aldous Huxley, Brave New World. A very interesting book. I definitely recommend giving it a read. This was written like very early in the 20th century, and it was like describing like what the world of the future would look like. It's very interesting to like see like what people at that time thought the world of the future would look like. Like, I really think it's so insane to see like how people's perspectives change and stuff. But anyway, so Brave New World right here, like you have this world where everyone like sadness is ruled out of the world. So like what happens, like you are grown, like you're conceived in a factory, you do not have parents, you do not have relatives, you do not have family, and like if you feel any sort of pain, you just take a drug and you feel happy again. So, and if one of your friends dies, like, you don't feel pain about that because death just happens and their bodies are gonna get burned for fuel. And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're still gone. They're still dead. I don't want to, like, I don't want to miss the fact that happened. I don't want to, I want to, like, remember that my friend was there. I want to remember, like, I don't want to, like, difficult times like grow your character sort of thing, and they also allow you to learn. And the thing is, like, you can control as much as you want to, but there will always be some negative thing which will impact you in some way, shape, or form. Look at, for instance, at like how we've tried many solutions into like making things easier, and then like way later down the line we discovered that like this solution wasn't necessarily a solution, because we now find out there is like a big unintended consequence around it, which we need to find a solution for now again. So that is something where I'm like, I feel like the negative is part of our life, and we need to accept it. Like, because only if you accept it, you can like move beyond it, and become stronger from it. And that's something which like I find, especially when it comes to like social media. Like, I've been wondering, like, I actually like kind of made a video about it when we talked about it during the Framecast. But the thing is, like, I don't want to hide the fact that I'm human. And, like, I really hate people that, like, hide the fact that they're human. That kind of, like, will post anything online and then be, like, will post anything online that makes them look good and then hide the things which make them look bad. Because, like, it makes people feel like they're living this perfect life and they're this perfect person. And, like, in regards, like, they are bad. And, like, when I say this, it was, like, I know that a part of me on myself was also, like, yeah, but, like, let people do that, right? Because who cares? Like, why should you care about how someone else is doing? At the same time, people kind of look up to each other, like kind of comparing themselves to one another to see like, how am I doing? And then like if you're showing that like you're not experiencing anything bad, like everything is always going swimmingly for you, you're a perfect human being, you will never say a cuss word. It's like, first of all, like that is kind of bad for like people growing up, but secondly, it's also like it makes me a very boring and uninteresting person to me. I don't like that. And like the second thing when it comes to like social media is like the reason I bring this up is because Espino said, it's like if art can exist, then like opinion should exist too. And like YouTube is now like one of the things that they've suggested is they are gonna remove the dislike button sort of thing. Like you can dislike a video, but you'll not see how many dislikes a video got. You'll just like be able to like dislike it, but you can't see how many likes. I think that's the stupidest thing in the world. Like you can already hide the likes and dislikes at this point in time if you want to. But the thing is, like, that's clearly indicated that I only want to see the positive side of things. I don't want to see the negative side of things. And I'm like, dude, like, that is so shallow. That is so, like, oh no, I can't stand it. I can't stand it when people are mean to me. It's like, I don't get that. I really don't like that, because it doesn't give you a good indication for what the real world is like. It doesn't give you a real good indication. Like, if I post a video right now and it has, like, 10 likes but 100,000 dislikes, I know that that was a bad video. I know that I need to kind of change myself, because kind of, like, the way that I operate in this world right now doesn't really work. And maybe if I get, like, 10 likes but, like, 0 dislikes, maybe that was a good thing. So this entire like hiding from negative, like I also feel like it's just gonna like come back at us at some point in time, because like you're kind of gonna create like people who are not set to like deal with criticism, and like if you're hiding from the truth, basically the truth will come back to like bite you back in the ass at some point in time. So yeah. Anyway, let's see. Actually, one follower is all I ever hope for. Together alone, 2 lonely lives looking at this silent eyes. So there, let's see. Don't answer the question. Trust me. No. Exists 2 types of art: the true art and the retarded, that thing that art is made by personal perspective. I mean, like, it depends, because like again, like I draw my comparison to like streaming or YouTube videos, Because there are so many people, especially on TV, and like from the contemporary TV world, that said like this would never work. This doesn't count for entertainment. This doesn't like you can't start a career here. This isn't real. This isn't real art because real television, real entertainment comes from television. And likewise, we found like a group here. We found an audience. Like I found like this platform where I enjoy streaming on. You'll enjoy watching it, and that is something which is very important. Like to me, like I don't care what a definition of art is. I don't care for like a definition of like this is entertainment, this isn't, sort of thing. As long as there are people that like, hey, I create something, you'll like there are people that like enjoy watching that. Like you can like make the world a better place like that because hey, two people had an enjoyable time now. Then go ahead. As long as it's not like impacting me, sort of thing. Go ahead, do what you want. But I do think that like I don't like the part where people start bullshitting each other. Where it's like, oh yeah, this line on the piece of paper is art. Oh yeah, it definitely is. I can see where they were going, even though both of you know this is like a fucking line on a piece of paper, sort of thing. So yeah. Imagine quickly, you make humans, grow them for a specific task, knowing you're just as equal automaton. Explain the emotion to mind. I do wonder how much different that will be though from right now, sort of thing, because like technically speaking, like whenever we hear this idea of like how a future might be where like, oh man, we are just here to grow humans for a specific task. We're just like we're part of an automation. Like, aren't we already in a sense? Like right now, in a sense, like nature kind of has us set up as these machines that procreate other human beings. As long as we are fit to do that. So like basically like we are actively part of this of like the evolutionary process, and like we are as much as a cog in a machine there as like a cog in a real machine, but like we just have like it's just a machine that isn't all that like specific, sort of thing. So like you kind of have that freedom in your life to kind of go both places, but then again maybe your choices all depend on like how your neurons fire, and your neurons firing is based on your biology. Like technically it's still possible that we don't have free will, that everything is like causal. So yeah, I hate pretending I'm human sometimes, but isn't the negative part just also great? I mean, how will you force yourself to be better without that lovely push? It really like, okay, so like this is something where like I actually became convinced in the sense of like liking or like appreciating the negative. So like I don't know who made this argument, but I remember hearing at a certain point in time like it was kind of like the argument for like why you can still believe in a god if like the world is terrible, because like technically like you could say it's like if it's all God's plan, you know, like you know the meme where like, oh, the dog, like my dog, like little Timmy's dogs dies, and it's like, oh, it's because it's God's plan, and God's plan is like create the universe, kill Timmy's dog, and like, you know that meme. It's like how can a god like that exist when like everything is according to like the god's plan, sort of thing, or like the god controls this, sort of thing. Like how can then terrible things like children getting cancer and dying exist? Like that is really fucking bad. Like how can a benevolent god make that happen? But the argument that was thrown against it is like, okay, so like let's assume that like that can't happen. Okay, let's assume that like children cannot get cancer and die because that will be too terrible, right? So does that mean that like when we define a kid when they're until they're like 10 years old, like does that mean that like someone that like is like just turned 10, like we can let them get cancer and die? Like would that be fair? No, that wouldn't be fair. You know, like then people would be like, why the fuck? So like, okay, so like old people, let's say just old people in general just like don't get cancer and die. Okay, that's good. But what about the other diseases? Okay, so like, you know, what about other diseases that like really cripple you for life, sort of thing? Okay, well let's take that away, but then let's take those out too, because you know why not? Every day, like those can be just as horrible sometimes. So like let's take those out. But like, what if you don't necessarily have that disease, but you're kind of close? You know, let's get that away too. Like slowly but surely, like you're gonna get to the point where you can have very fair arguments. Like, well, if this thing's gonna be taken away, why don't we just take away like this disease? And at the end of the day, you take away all diseases. It's like, okay, so then why do people have to age? You know, aging can be really, really horrible. You can really see people just like come down from like the prime that they had to like a really like crippled old state where you're like just a shadow of their former self, and that can be really, really hard on people, really depressing. Like, why don't we just like get rid of that? It's okay, well, get rid of aging, sort of thing. Like you can make that point, and like so you can eliminate a lot of things. Like why do we have to have like a need for money, or like because we want to buy things? So why don't we get rid of money? Why don't we get rid of buying things? Why can't we just like have everything we want to? Okay, why can't we just have everything we want at this point in time? Or have everything we want? But like, yeah, but like what if we can have that in the future? Why can't we just have that at this point in time? You know, like that's so cruel that some people can have things right now and I don't have. Okay, you can have everything you want whenever you want, Okay, so like, okay, at this point in time, there's no death, there's no diseases. Everyone is like in the prime of their lives, and they can have everything they want at any point in time they want. Okay, but you know, you're still kind of like bound by like time, sort of thing. You're kind of still kind of bound by location. It's like, isn't it horrible that it's like someone can be in another point in time, like another place in the world, and you can't be there at the exact same time as that other person as you can be at the place where you are right now. So like, that's horrible, right? Like, you're limited, and also you can't fly. You have a body. Like, why do I only have 2 arms? So I can't experience having multiple arms. So I can't have experience more. Okay, so let's do away with the limitation of location. Let's do away with the limitation of our body, because like, how cruel is it that we can only experience like anything through like this body? Why can't we just experience anything from like, you know, without the limitation of our body? Then like, okay, so all of a sudden we don't have bodies, and we can be at any place at any point in time. Because like, that's also something like, why are we limited to this point in time? Why can't, like, I live right now in 2021, why can't I live in 1500 or 30,700? Like, how cruel it is. Because like, I really wanted to meet this person back then, or I really wanted to defeat. Okay, like, you're not bound by location, time, or space. So what are you now? I mean, you might still say, okay, so I'm some sort of entity that can be at any point in at any place at any point in time, like, and I encompass everything. But what if you really want to be another person, sort of thing? Like, what if you want to... Okay, so, like, why don't you just become everything? At that point in time, so, like, if you take away all the negatives, if you take away all your limitations, you end up being nothing. Because at the end of the day, you're shaped by your limitations. Now, that doesn't mean that, like, the really, really bad things aren't bad. But that was, like, the argument that was, like, being thrown up. I think I read it somewhere, or, like, I don't know. I really don't know where it came from. But, like, that's something where, like, I kind of started to appreciate, like, yeah, you are defined by your limitations. Like, you necessarily are a limitation. Like, you are a very limited thing, like something in the universe of everything, which is limited to just you. So like, you are defined by your limitations. That's why negatives shape who you are, and without negatives, you wouldn't exist. So, yeah. The real world is a battlefield of thought. The real world is just a battlefield in general. Like, just look at the jungle. Look at the nature documentaries. That's wild, man. Like, seriously, nature documentaries are like the wildest shit you've seen. It is so brutal. It is so like crazily. Oh my god. Like, seriously, it can be like so fucking like cruel. And then like, you see people like, oh, but nature is like meant to be like nice and kind. It's like, no, probably not. Probably not a lot of times. It's like, just look at these nature documentaries where like animals are being torn apart in pieces, and like they're just being born, and then some crocodile comes and just like snaps it all up, and it's not nice. It is not nice. So, isn't art gambling? I mean, isn't the art the word for self-expression? Art is in a sense gambling, because it's like, it tends to be like high risk, high reward sort of thing. So like, there is so much art being created that will never be appreciated, but at the same time, you also have like some art, like a small percentage of art that's like highly appreciated. So you'll have like so many people make like gravity stuff, like what you saw earlier. And that doesn't like sell for anything. People just like hate that's there. They'll paint it over, sort of thing. They won't want to see it. And then like, what you have is that like some of the art, like they'll just get hundreds of thousands of dollars for it, where it's like, oh, that makes no sense. But like, that's the way the art works. When I say true art, it's a craft that can be that is being refined to be the best possible form. Like, best possible is again like kind of a value thing, by the way, Blue Demon. So like, that's kind of like the thing where it's like, if you attach a value to it, like, I feel values are subjective, sort of thing. So like, that is a choice that you make. Like, I feel that this is the best, but then again, it's like let me give you an example for that sort of thing. So like, what is better? Having a really short condensed video sort of thing, or a really long stream, or like a really long video. So like, let's say I make a gameplay video. Should I, first of all, like, is it better if like the person playing is like really big in the picture, because like that is like the person you want to see play, or should they not be in the picture because like that is someone like you want to see the game? And then like, should the video be really long so you can see everything, or should it be like really, really short so you only see the things that matter, and like you can make a decision of that? It's like, there are so many different opinions on like how things should be, and that's like only coming down to videos. But with art, like that can be very different. Like, do you want all the detail? But like, if you want all the detail, why don't you just take a picture? Because if you take a picture, that's like all the detail. But that's not art, really. Like, art is an interpretation of something, and like, where does interpretation go? It's like, again, it's like very, very much like something where it's like, it's very subjective, highly subjective. And again, like, if there's someone that can put a draw like a point on like a piece of canvas, or like draw a line or whatever, and then someone just goes around like, oh my god, I appreciate it so much, just enrich my life. Go ahead, I want more people to make that for those people that appreciate it. I just don't want that people go out and like go and bullshit each other, where like literally both sides know that like this is just like a line on like a piece of paper. We both don't think it's art. We both think it's absolutely ridiculous, but we're just gonna say because of social conventions, because like we think that like that will make us haute couture, that would make us like very like cultured if we say that that is art. It's like, no, just be honest. Just say like, oh, that's just a line in there. You know, that's something I like. But if you really feel like it, yeah. As Pino says, new emerging industry will always see pushback from established industry. Like, look at how radio pushed back podcasts, recording studio pushed back MP3s, and then music streaming. Shit, even petrol gas pushed back alcohol before pushing back on EV technology. I'm really curious as to like how hydrogen is gonna like come into the picture. Like that is something where like I'm really curious about, because like hydrogen apparently has more density. But like actually like one thing which I find fascinating, especially when it comes to like the car industry, is like, or like just anything, it's like we're so focused on like saving energy sort of thing, but your computer basically, or like your device that you're using right now to watch a stream, 99% of the energy, like the electricity that it uses is wasted to heat, because we take so little energy. Like we can convert so little energy from like the energy that exists to like something that we can actually use. And so like most of the petrol, or like most of like whatever you use, even if it's just like electric motors, that electricity will be used for like a majority, such a large majority, to just like heat something up, to just like spread out into the universe, and only like a really tiny part to like power it. So like I'm like really interested, like what if we could like really use all the energy that is stored inside either like fuel or electricity or like whatever. If we could use all that, like how big do our batteries and how much do we have to use to actually like get a car to move? Like let's say like how big does an electric vehicle battery needs to be if we can use 100% of the energy stored in that battery? Like it might be so much more smaller. But that's something which I don't know that much about because I haven't studied. It's not my line of work, but that's something which is really fascinating to me. Let's see. Jin said, I mean, why, Blue Demon, I mean, why not be both in terms of personal perspective and refinement in the form? Afim says, Jin, an interesting irony I find is that irony in itself is ironic and hardly it is funny to some. Like the idea that you're just imagining things and really terrible ill, and the thing, you're just imagining things and really terribly ill, and that thing that reminds you that you exist is the thing that makes you question it. Another irony as well, that humans are often seen as bad and animals as good, but people often tell people to be human and not animalistic, which is the exact opposite of the other view. I think that generally, like, this entire idea that like the animal kingdom is good kind of comes from people that, first of all, haven't really lived in the wild. I'm me neither, so I can't have much to say about that. But again, like I feel like it often comes out from people like who don't really know the way that nature works, and who kind of feel like the way that humans have been structured is like terribly flawed to them. So like they're like, well, we'd be better off if it was just nature. And it's like, I mean, to some extent, like there might be things where it would be better, but at the same time, like really, do you really want to like? Do you really look at like lions is like tearing apart like this little baby zebra that just got born, and you're like, oh, that is perfect. That is exactly peaceful in the way that the world should be. Do you look at like how many children like died at childbirth, and you're like, oh man, that's exactly the way that the world should be? Do you look at like how half of the world might have died because of COVID, because like there was no way to like save people? It's like, is that how the world should be? It's like, I don't know. It's like, I think that like there are many mistakes that people make, and there are many things where like people are short on, like actually make grave errors because of the decisions they make. But at the same time, I think that like it is still worth appreciating that people try and make the world better. There are definitely people that make the world worse, but I think there's also like people are trying to make the world better, and you should cut them some slack sometimes. Be like, hey, you know, they're trying, because like the world is very complex, and like I don't think that there's hardly any solution that will really solve something, because there's so many complex things around it that you're bound to like oversee something, and that is why you should always be able to criticize, because I don't think that there's anyone that can have the real answer to something, because there's always something we miss. So like we should always be open to like, hey, we might be wrong here, and then fix it. So yeah, I do find probability and kismet to be quite indifferent. Mankind blamed the beast, but they found a fascination on the will of the beast. Jin says, Blue Demon, I can understand that, but I wouldn't say it's entirely retarded unless it's something like splashing paint on canvas, because people do have their ways of expressing on how they feel. Blue Demon says, expressing on how you feel, it's meaningless towards art. Yes, you can express how much you want, but it will still be a shitty drawing. I mean, it really depends. Because it's like, if a child makes a drawing, right? If a child of like 1 year old makes a drawing, it's like, it's gonna look like shit compared to like what it will look like, but it will be like there will be so much value in it to the parents. Like, do you come around and tell the parent like, oh yeah, that is a piece of shit, there's no value in this because it doesn't look right? It's like, you don't, because like it's made by that kid, so like the context is there that it's made by that kid. At the same time, like, does that mean that like when people really appreciate the way that an artist makes something, even if it looks like a piece of shit, like, I mean, again, it's like, as long as it's not impacting me, I don't mind. The only thing that I take issue with is when, like, there's two people that clearly do not, like, think that that thing is pure art, but they'll say it's pure art because it's like, oh, haute couture sort of thing. I want it to look good. It's like, no, always be honest. Always be honest. So yeah, that's where I am. If art is self-expression and art is gambling, then EA was right. Gambling is self-expression. It is. Oh man, I wouldn't exactly say so, because there are some songs and music and or dance being a form of art is a way of expressing oneself. You can actually do both if your expression is your motivation or drive to be to perfect form. If there's no meaning to feeling to that, then it isn't really all that flavorful in that way. Afim says, Lovecraft did an excellent job at using his personal perspective but still creating an interesting and beautiful world. Blue Demon says solar energy is the least efficient form of power production. It is actually just like solar energy is like pretty much like a nuclear reaction source where we're just like taking energy from very far away. All I'm saying, and I'm just saying art in general to be clear, it's a myth of the good savage that think that society make man evil and not every being has evil within. Yeah, that's also a thing. Like that is something like I think there was like some sort of report back in the 20th century where people were like it was strongly believed that like nature in itself was good, and evil came from within man itself, and from having like consciousness came evil, and that if we were to just go back to like before consciousness sort of before like our rational thinking, then we would all be peaceful, in harmony living beings. But then they went and did the study on like monkeys. I don't know exactly what type of monkeys they were, and I can't really say the study, but like it's out there somewhere, where they like observe monkeys. Like monkeys would have tribes. They would have little tribes where they would live in. If like one monkey was like banned from the tribe or like moved away from the tribe and then came back into the area again, like they would just like tear it apart while it's still alive. It's like, yeah, that's not really peaceful and harmonious. So like that was quite a shock. So getting rid of everything seems to rid the problems. It does, but it leaves nothing. So yeah. Plus, when it comes to drawing, just like expression being a way to motivate in dance and music, someone can use that as motivation or any drive to perfect that form in drawing. Age is no excuse, no exception. The impossible paradoxical perfection is all that matters. But does consciousness and rationality have a relationship? Or are they not different and separate? They could be. Or they could not be. Like, I don't know. Because, like, I believe I'm rational, but it also comes down to, like, how you define it. How do you find rationality and how do you find, like, consciousness? Because if rationality comes down to like reasoning, and reasoning is very simple. It comes down to like, I see one thing, I see another thing, and I like extract, like I infer something new, and like that's my reasoning. Is like I know two things and I infer another thing. That's generally what reasoning comes down to. And if you have consciousness, then that kind of means that like you are aware of what is going on around you and you're aware of your own existence. So that means that like technically you should be capable of reasoning, because you can see one thing and another thing and should be able to like, oh hey, that means that. And you can see that in animals. But like, does that mean that animals are rational? I don't know. Like, it really comes down to like definitions. The art doesn't have value to the parents. Doesn't have value to the it's the fact that the child the child, it's the work of art the parents would be proud of because it creates a good child. It's the work of art itself. Well, I think, okay, so like I think what you're trying to say is that the art itself doesn't have value, but like it's the context of the child made the work that the parents are proud of because it's a good child who made that work of art. But like, does that mean like at the end of the day, like what defines like the value of that? Because technically, like it's the context that gives that value, and that work, that piece now becomes very valuable. This in the same way, because like you could say it's because like, oh well, that's something that they made, that's something that they drew, and because of that, like we can get an insight into like what they were thinking at the time, or like let's say it's made by someone that died. Like the fact that like people really like this idea that like this person who's gone right now touched this paper and like worked on it, and like now I can like touch it and like remember sort of thing, and that can be very valuable too. Like it doesn't like it really comes down to like where do you get value from, and that doesn't mean that like you're wrong, because like you may get value from something else, and like I feel value is subjective, so like everyone can get their value out of different things. But I do think that like if you want to speak in general, like I did like there are different ways where people get their value from. Conscious is when rational and emotional meet. I can see that. I can see that. It is really fascinating because like we don't know what is like outside of consciousness, and like that's something which is like very fascinating in the sense of like there are like it. This again comes down to like why you would not exist if there would not be limitations, because there wouldn't be anything that isn't you. So like you couldn't distinguish between you and the thing that isn't there. So like I don't know what not conscious is because I can't distinguish outside of it. Again, like I don't know what the world actually looks like apart from what I perceive because I can't step outside my body. So that's interesting too. A theme says animals are conscious of their environment, but plants merely grow mathematically. Then there is, to humans, empiricism, rationalism, and idealism. Empiricism, I suppose, suggests that consciousness is somewhat rationality, because you can only physically and sensually experience the world, where rationalism says the world can only be rationalized, ultimately leading to the idea that you are not aware of or conscious of the real world. That is idealism, and it's very interesting. It's like because like technically you live in the past, right? Because like you take time to process what's going on, and at the same time like your perception is very much like shaped by like how you how your like pre-conscious works. So it's like you know the passing basketball text, like the invisible monkey experiment, like that's something where like it clearly shows you see what you want to see. So does that mean that you only perceive the world the way you want to imagine it, sort of thing? Outside of conscious is unconsciousness. I mean, that's generally as far as we experience it, but like maybe there's another state, because like yeah, like we don't know. We have never been there. We've never been there. Art isn't always about a form of perfection. There is value when it comes to adding emotion to art in areas. I mean, yeah, like that's kind of what I said when it comes to if artists like striving for perfection, and like why isn't like just go for like a picture, just take a picture. Wait, did I just turn on my PlayStation? I think I did. Like business-wise, I can understand, but if it's a way to express themselves, the meaning behind the art is more charitable. Then again, there is a strangeness of consciousness versus what the soul is. The soul is a very interesting thing too, because it fascinates me that people are not more concerned about like the time that they were before they were born. Like they're more concerned with like what happens after they die, which I get because like that's something which is coming up, and like you having been dead is like something that's happened in the past. So like why worry about it? But at the same time, like you've been like not alive for longer than you have been alive. So like that's something which is fascinating to me as well. We're always looking to the future, interacting with the present, and reflecting on the past. Though I do think that's like something which is fascinating is that the past always changes. And like that is something where it's like, if you understand that, like you take a big step in life. Because allow me to explain it to like my younger self who would not understand, like would see like, oh man, but the past is fixed, it happened. This is the way it happened. Okay, so why does the past change because of the future or the present? Why is the past not a set thing? It's all because, like, what we come back to when it comes to perception. So, like, what do we see and what happened for real? So, okay, so, like, go to YouTube, look up, like, the invisible monkey experiment. You'll see that, like, you will not see everything there is out there. There are more things happening where, like, because your focus of attention is, like, so small, like, you can only see the things you're aimed to see, so you'll miss a lot of things. And apart from that, there's a lot of things you can't see. So, like, the best way of, like, explaining this way, of explaining this, like, the past is being shaped by the future is, like, going by one of the like most impactful, like the most closely related hurtful things that can happen to you is like you being betrayed. And that generally like happens, it tends to a lot more happen like as you grow older, and it can happen in childhood, but more likely will start to happen around like the end of your teenage years, or like from then on forward, because at that point in time, like you get more invested in relationships, sort of thing. Or at least I've experienced that, because like back when you were a kid, it's like generally like you just kind of engage with other children who are like you're all just children. Like, who are you? Like, what have you done? Like, what makes you you, sort of thing. So like your identities are haven't really shaped yet, and you're also just like, you know, you can just be a kid and play with like random kids as well. Like your friendships aren't all that much. Like, you don't put a lot of thought in them. Like, actually, that's generalizing as well. But like generally, like friendships with children last longer than like older friendships or things. So anyway, like as you get older, like there's a bigger chance that like you will have that someone will turn around and betray you. And how does someone betray you? Well, someone betrays you when, first of all, they're very close to you. Because if you have someone you absolutely hate, they will never be able to betray you, because if you already hate them, like what can they do, right? It's oftentimes someone that's really close to you, that you thought was a really good friend to you, really good, like you had a really good relationship with them, you trusted them with something that was really precious to you, and then they turn around and they destroyed that. They went against your expectations of being like this really good person that you could trust to someone that actually did you very dirty and actually hurt you in a very bad way. Now that can be in multiple shapes, different ways, shapes, or forms, but I think that we have all, in a sense, experienced that, and we will probably experience that in many different shapes and different forms in time. Evil always comes back, sort of thing. Like bad things will always happen, so probably gonna happen soon. It's probably gonna happen in the future too. But that's the thing, is that when you were engaging with that person, so like when you get betrayed, what you'll find is that you will be, first of all, like angry. Second of all, you'll be like confused. It's like, what the fuck happened? Because like most of the time it just like flips. And then you'll start to wonder like, what the fuck has been going on? Because like you'll start to wonder like, okay, so who is this person now? What's it like? Is this person, is like, if you trust this person to be your good friend, then like your good friend would never go as far as like to betray you, but they just did. So that means that they are not your good friend, but you just believed until like the second they betrayed you that they were your good friend. So were they really? And that is how the past is changed by the future. Like, because this like betrayal event happened in the future, you're now gonna be looking back to like all the moments in your friendship where you're like, oh god, like were they really, like when they said they really enjoyed my company, like did they really? When they said they really liked this, like did they really? Like who were they? Because you can't see everything about them. You slotted them into your ideas, like, oh, this is a good friend of mine, and then you looked at that like that way, and that's something where like you looked at. But you didn't look at the things where they probably made some offhanded comments that like kind of indicated that they would betray you at some point. You didn't look at like the times that they did bad things where it's like, oh, that could have indicated this, because that's something you weren't focused on. And that is how the past can change based on the future. And that's often sometimes like that's a lot of times what people are doing consciously or unconsciously when they have been betrayed. Like they'll like kind of retreat, they'll be kind of a bit of a mess where they're like, oh fuck, what's going on, what's not. It changes. And also like when people pass, sort of thing, like moments that you just like spent with them, especially when they unexpectedly pass, like moments you just spent with them, like the moment they pass, like these moments become way more precious because it's like, fuck, that was like the last time I saw them, when like the moment you saw them you didn't pay any mind to it. So that is something where like how the present and future can change the past. And that's very fascinating because we think the past is like set in stone, but it isn't. It really isn't. Let's see. Past, it's always it's one thing, but we can only see part of it. So I was 8 and my sister betrayed me. Damn, dude, that must have been really rough growing up. Again, like what when I say those things, like generally with children that doesn't happen all that much, or at least in my experience as far as I've seen. But there are definitely exceptions. So like, yeah. Let's see. Sounds like I fucked her to death. No, I just nearly broke her ass. Damn. Damn, dude, that's intense. Let me see who posted something in pictures and stuff in the Discord. So I like the Just Chatting Mondays, by the way. Like I don't know like how we got this started. Maybe that was like a Monday where I just didn't know what to do. I was like, let's just do a Just Chatting stream, and we ended up just chatting. But I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it because we just get to talk about this stuff. And like generally we don't really talk about this stuff whenever I'm like playing Apex or something. I don't know. So I enjoy it. I have fun. My computer won't let me load the images, so let me just go load it here. Oh, there we go. Oh shit. That's really cool. Treble made a new purchase, and he got something new. Let's see. If I may, you stream and beam no more on Friday. I still stream on Friday. Last Friday just something got in between. I streamed the Friday before, right? Or like, have I just been like weeks without have I just been like weeks without like streaming on Friday? That's bad. That's bad. But no, like I still stream on Friday. It was just like last Friday was like something got in between. So, let's see. Okay, so use the Fist of 1,000 Suns of Chris Breezy. Got it. Oh man, oh man, oh man. But yeah, what do I want to say? I don't know. Like kind of what I want to go for right now is like kind of have like 2 streams a week where we just like play for like a story game sort of thing. 2 streams a week where we just like do more interactive stuff. So like right now I feel it's gonna be Apex because I'm really enjoying Apex, and I would love for you guys to try too if you feel interested. Because I think it's like a great way in which like I can like play and like also engage with you guys and like have you guys play as well with me, and I really enjoyed that game. I seriously am enjoying that game. I never thought I would. Like seriously, 2 months ago if you told me you're gonna like really like a battle royale, I would have laughed at you so hard, so fucking hard. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. But then again, like if that ever changes, if there comes a point in time where like I'm not enjoying that anymore, like I'll probably change to another game. Let's see, Athene posted something. Let's see. No, it was just a kick. Boo. That's understandable. What do we have here? What do we have here? Reinforcement enlisting to stop mass protests in Russia. No one messes with the Emperor. Oh my god, that is well made. Dude, that is seriously well made. This is definitely someone who has like some good After Effects skills. I wonder, I probably think that this has been made with like a 360 camera and they're like adding the artificial shake, but I'm not quite sure. But like that shaking, like that is interesting. Tell them you play Titanfall 2 and you forget Apex. Oh man, oh man, oh man. You would have lolled League of Legends? I have not gotten into League, but like, okay, so like the big thing that worked with me for Apex is, first of all, I know a bunch of people that play it, from like espionage here, from espionage and Emil, like, to some creators like Defton and Mogamu. I know some people from outside the stream that play it, and like we have a fun time with it, so like I really enjoy that. And I've really been missing like a PvP like gunplay sort of thing, because like I've really enjoyed my Call of Duty time, but I don't really have that anymore, because like the Call of Duties that I like are really old and no one plays them anymore, and the new ones just like don't have the same vibe anymore. So I kind of miss that. And at the same time, like I really enjoy playing for story games. I really enjoy like this is the thing, I'm not quite sure. I am fading away from the live services sort of thing, because like what I find with live services is that initially when like things like Warframe came around, I saw them as like standard story games, but then that would go on forever, and I love that. I love that shit. But now things have changed, especially when it comes to Warframe and Destiny 2. If I look at those, like I really appreciate them for, first of all, like most of all, I appreciate the story and the world building, and I feel that like with Warframe and Destiny, that's like that isn't as great. It's like, initially I thought that, oh my god, these are like very new games or very free-to-play early games. Like, it will get better. But like, it doesn't really. Because like, they just like throw out random stuff. They just like, kind of like, they'll like, for example, like they'll throw out open worlds, and these open worlds will never be finished in their content. They'll never be done. It's like, it will always be kind of the same thing. Whereas like, if I buy for $60, like, Ghost of Tsushima, if I like go and play Horizon Zero Dawn, which is free, like I will get a story which starts and ends and actually like has some sort of idea, and where it's like we will have like this conclusion sort of thing. Like there will be an underlying message. It's like that's something which I've really missed for Warframe right now. It's like I remember a time where I was so caught up with the lore in Warframe that I would like know every single line that's ever been said. I love that shit. But right now I've stopped caring, because the thing is that I feel that they're just kind of like writing as they go along. And that's kind of like, at that point in time, like, what is the meaning of that story if someone's just, like, making it up? Because obviously, stories are all made up, sort of thing. People make them up. But a really good story is one which had, like, an idea behind it. It's like, playing Nier Automata, if you've never played it, like, that game has such a, like, oh, there's such a vision around that, where, like, at the end of the story, it feels concluded. It feels it's over. And it's like, it hits you so fucking hard. Because the people that made that had an idea of a story they wanted to tell. They wanted to set it up in a certain way. They wanted you to go for a certain emotion. They had it crafted. It was something they made. And then you look at Warframe, and it's like, and you look at Destiny, and it's like, they make stories which are some like just appear to be appealing like right at the start, but like they never, first of all, they never finish them because they're afraid of finishing something, and second of all, it's not important, because like you'll see with Destiny, let's just delete their story. It's like, how dare you delete that? Like, I don't like that. So it's like the story isn't an important part of that game. It's about playing. But then again, when it comes to playing, it's like games that finish, like, actually have an idea. It's like, again, like, how is the structure of you playing? Like, these, like, live service games are meant for you to play forever and ever and ever and ever. And that sucks, I feel. Because, like, it is not meant for, like, okay, so now you're feeling better, and now you're feeling better, now you're getting to this point. Like it's not structured. It's just, like, kind of like, just go out there and, like, do it forever, live forever sort of thing. Kind of like tempo run sort of thing. Like, these endless scrollers. So, yeah, at a certain point, you get tired of them. And then if I look at, like, if I want to play a story, there's so many good story games. If I want to play a game where it's like, oh, this has got, like, really good, like, combat or a really good, like, movement system, I get to Apex. And, like, that's the thing with Apex and, like, also with PvP, is that I stopped caring about, like, slaying Grenier at a certain point because, like, it meant nothing. But then when, like, right now when I'm playing Apex, it's so fucking frustrating. It's so fucking frustrating when you get put in with a team which is, like, absolutely knows nothing. It doesn't communicate. You just die right away. But it allows you to get better. And it's kind of like, you know, trying to get better. And, like, there's always a way to get better. Even if you beat everyone, like, there's still this rush where you can go, oh, let me go and, like, get my, like, KD up sort of thing. So there's a lot that you can do. Tribal, what's up, man? How's it going? How's my akimbo-wielding frog doing? So, yeah. Let me see. Speaking of Titanfall 2, I feel like I'm too OP with invisibility. Of course, I haven't tried it in PvP yet. I can't wait to play it, man. I play too many online games to keep farming and leveling them all. In retrospect, that I have Wi-Fi. Yeah, I mean, like, at a certain point in time, like, it just becomes too much. And that's why you see a lot of people main a certain game. And that's also what I think is not really a good thing, because at some point you will get tired of it. PvE practice. I think a virtual camera imitating the real camera using 3D models on overlay of specific positions. That could also be the case. Like, I think, like, if I had to just, like, hazard a guess on how that's made, it's probably a 360 camera where they just, like, place everything in After Effects sort of thing, and then they just, like, imitated the movement. It's not a real phone. That's for sure. Why would I pretend to make up anything? Oh, man. Spinner says, video game lore is a lot like comic book writing. They don't always have the entire story fully baked from the beginning. Like, I don't necessarily need someone when they're gonna start writing a story to, like, know from the start to the end, like, what the every single dialogue line will be, but you need to have some idea. So, like, if you look at, like, Avengers sort of thing, if you look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they had an idea as to where they wanted to go. And, like, it ended up with Endgame. Like, they closed that story off. And Warframe right now, it's like, they started up with something, and, like, the second dream was something where it was like, okay, so, like, this game has been out for a while. We've had some various plot points, which kind of went nowhere, but, oh my god, here was something where it's like, okay, they knew this from the start. And now, when it all comes down to, like, for me, the teasers ruined Warframe's lore for me. And I know many people that, like, have the same thing. So, like, what Warframe did is, like, they had this very interesting storyline where they had a trilogy of cinematic quests. And, like, the idea was, like, the first one, like, showed something amazing, something very, very new about the game. Where it's like, oh my god, I didn't know that. And the second one explored that idea even more. And, like, they really said that this was going to be a trilogy. So the third part, you expect would, like, do something with that. But the third part was actually just, like, changed so it could accommodate a new character which people just wanted to have in the game. And then instead of, like, rounding off a certain theme or rounding off a certain idea of, like, okay, so now we have mastered this, now move on. It was just like, it was just kind of like, oh, let's just tell a story about this character which everyone wants in the game, and we don't have no way of, like, shoehorning in. So, like, let's just do it, fight his quest, and then, oh, the real big thing is going to happen in the next thing. And they did that in 2017, 2018. And then, like, they've just been teasing people forever and ever. It's like, oh, here's a little teaser of what might happen. Here's a little teaser of what might happen. And that doesn't feel like a story. It feels like you're just like, you don't know what you want to write. You don't know what you want to tell me. You're just like, oh, let me just like, so yeah, there is this person we've never, they do something, and who knows, well, that might, it's like, at a certain point, it just feels like they're grasping at straws. And at that point in time, you've lost me. So, like, right now, yeah, I'm sorry, but, like, and also, it's also, like, about the, whenever they would release a story, like, at least when Marvel made movies in, like, the cinematic universe, maybe they didn't know everything about it, but, like, you would have movies that would kind of, like, have their own story from start to end. Warframe never ends, in a sense. Warframe never finishing? What about continuing? Oh, man, it just kind of, like, at the same point. The story has been a game of ring around the roses. A good story, it's not the idea, it's how art is made, an effort to perfect yourself, the craft, to be the best form that you can make. Travis says, I'm not at home, about to go there though. Woo! Have you seen the new GTA 5 Chaos mod that the chat can influence? I have not seen that before. Bladium says, I am G20 on Titanfall 2? Or Team Fortress 2? I think Titanfall 2. But yeah. We'll meet in the warp then. Howdy, Thim. Espino says, I'm talking about comic book writing, not MCU cinema. The MCU already had their story written for them. They just needed to have to adapt it or revise it to fit their needs. Yeah, that's something which was always like kept me off of comic book sort of thing, because like it was never really a story in the sense of that might have just upset a lot of people. But the thing to me was when I saw that like there were many different versions of Spider-Man sort of thing, because like, oh, this author had this idea and this author had this idea. It's like, yeah, that. I like when it comes to ongoing story sort of thing, I like the idea of like a Harry Potter, which is like being written and like J.K. Rowling had an idea of what it was and she just wrote that thing and like you kept up with the parts and at a certain point it ended. So Millie, what's up? How's it going? Good to see you. Hope you're doing alright this Monday. So instead of telling a story, they keep pushing filler after filler. Abso-fucking-lutely. And that's the same thing when it comes to anime as well. I dropped Naruto. I still need to finish that because they just kept throwing filler and filler and filler in there. Whereas One Piece, they do have sometimes have filler, but a lot of times like the way that they deal with that is like incorporating that in the story. I'm not saying that's perfect, but like at least I feel like the person that's writing it, like for instance, like One Piece recently had something in like episode 900 something where they actually reference something from like chapter from like episode 1 to 5 sort of thing. Like that is a really insane callback. 20 years, like a callback of 20 years. That's insane, but like that just shows that like someone had a story in mind. Not entirely like every single line of dialogue, every single like frame, but they had the story in mind, and they were gonna tell that. So I love that. So yeah, Afim says, let me explain. Lotus gets taken, then leaves. Then Bellis tells us she's evil. Then it turns out that he was pulling the strings, and it doesn't matter that we are listening, even though he just told us she was evil. What's the point then? I know, right? I know. That is, it's just the entire story with yeah, it is like. It just feels like they're just like, what do I want to do now? Let's see what the community thinks. Do they want this character to be bad? Do they want this character to return? I don't, you know what, let's see. Do y'all want the character to be bad or good? Let us know, we'll adjust the story then. That's what it feels like, and it just makes no fucking sense, because like all the like reason, like it takes away the character. It takes away like what are the motivational reasons for the character. So, how is everyone? I'm doing quite alright. Like seriously, I had like a really relaxed weekend. It's been like finishing up things up, which is great. Weather has been better, even though it's still like raining out of here. Like Holland has been like kind of this spring with weather, but it's been alright. It's getting warmer now. What a brilliantly time-wasting plan. Don't worry, Naruto has actually started to use fillers to develop side characters and to make some jokes. I mean, like, I got first Shippuden, like, oh, like, I'm really close to the end, but, like, the thing was that I was watching multiple anime at the time, and then, like, Naruto was, like, really, like, they were, like, in the final battle sort of thing, and then they went back to, like, a random filler thing, like, the next episode, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I can't take this. Especially if you just, like, throw it in randomly, it's like, it's not like, oh, hey, this is a logical point in time in the story where, like, something could happen. It's like, no, we're at one point in time, like, someone just gets, like, almost killed, and, like, it seems like they're dying, it's like, oh, what's gonna happen next episode? Oh, hey, we're back in the village and we're doing random shit. It's like, no. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. You may do that once, you may do that twice, but the first time I'm fucking out. And now I can go back and I can kind of like watch like the parts that are interesting and then like watch the filler separately if I feel like it. So yeah, that's kind of like the way that I sit in that. So yeah. You watch anime? Of course. Who doesn't watch anime? I mean, everyone watches anime. It's actually really cool to see how anime has spread, because like when I started watching it like about 10 years ago, like it wasn't really a very also, Minnie, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate it. It wasn't really a very established thing yet. Watching anime, people were like, what, are you watching Japanese cartoons? What the fuck? It's like no one knew what it was, and now I speak with everyone, like a majority of people I speak with watch anime, and I'm like, what happened? But again, like that means that we get better series. So what's your favorite anime? Oh, that is a fucking rough one. That is a really rough question. Damn. Honestly, I wouldn't know. What were meaningful anime to me? I think let me go over some of the most meaningful anime. Like the first and foremost that stands out to me the most is the one that actually got me to watch anime, which is One Piece. Which a lot of people say, like, oh, that's not a masterpiece. Like it's not like high culture. It's just a shonen. I'm like, it's actually quite well written, and it was something which I really needed at the time. I didn't know I needed it. Like I started watching it because my cousin was watching it. I was like, oh, let me go watch this, and it was just like exactly what I needed. Also, Finn, thank you so much for gifting that subscription to Millie. I appreciate that. But I have Genshin now. But yeah, like, it's like, it was at a time for something which I really needed and really guided me through my anime landscape. Then, let me see. Like, that's one which really stands out. I think Gurren Lagann was something which really stood out for me, for something which, like, oh my god, that, like, hit. That was such a fucking power rush. Like, seriously, I can go back to that and just, like, watch that. Cowboy Bebop is one which I really want to get back to, like rewatch again, because that is also just, like, such a fucking ride. Seriously. What else? Like, there's so much. There is so fucking much. I mean, Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan was, like, actually the first anime I spoke about, like, I sort of mentioned, and then, like, someone was like, hey, are you talking about the anime Attack on Titan? I was like, you watch anime too? And, like, that was fucking wild too. Yeah, there are many. Like, again, there's so many I could mention. So it's like, it's really tough to choose my favorite. Do you have a favorite that you could like say is your favorite? Case closed. Oh my god, Meitante Conan. I love Meitante Conan. It is something which, like, I go in and out of, sort of thing. Like, I'll catch up with it. I really hope their story continues at some point in time, because, like, they've been doing cases and cases and cases, not really progressing the story for a while, but, like, really, I hope. Attack on Titan is so good. Attack on Titan is... I don't know why they took so long to, like, come out with the second season, because the first season was fucking lit, and then, like, it took such a long time, and, like, a lot of people, like, fell by the wayside and didn't come back to watch it. But I've read up on the ending, and my god, what a mindfuck that thing is. Seriously. I love Tokyo Ghoul. Like, seriously, that's been one of those anime which, like, I have not seen yet, but, like, has been on my fucking to-watch list for, like, years. So, like, I'll probably go watch it, like, soon. Gurren Lagann is one of those animes that you either love with a passion or hate it. Are there people that hate Gurren Lagann? Like, seriously? Like, honestly, okay, so, like, when I started watching that for the first time, and Dada says, about Attack on Titan manga just ended. Yes, it did. And, like, anime is, like, catching up, sort of thing. It's, like, it's, like, getting there. But yeah, like, seriously, it is, what is it? Oh god, what do I want to say? Gurren Lagann, when I started watching it, like, I started watching it with a rational mind, so I was like, yeah, this is not real, this is not possible! How can you make machines out of nothing? But then, you shouldn't watch it with a rational mind, you should just watch it with, like, your heart, you should watch it with emotion, like, just see what that brings out, and, like, that's insane. Also, Dallas, how's it going, man? How you doing? Oh my god, you need... I fucking will. You know what? I'll start watching it tonight. By the way, the ending of Attack on Titan is shit. It depends. I can see why you can call it shit. I can see that. At the same time, I don't know. Like, there's like I can also appreciate in a way that they ended it, and that's why I call it a fucking ride. It's like, to me, like, Attack on Titan has been like a series of, like, a roller coaster of emotions. Like, initially it was like, wow, this is insane, look at the art style, look at how well it's made, oh, this is such an interesting world. And then it went to, like, oh man, I can't wait, oh man, it's so gruesome, it's like, it's so real, it's like, it doesn't shy away from anything, woo. And then it went to, like, oh god, like, this is really dark now, this is really fucking dark now, oh my god, why do so many people keep dying? Come on, like, let us see some progression. I want to see something, please give me something good. Oh my god, oh, okay, there's hope, and it gets slashed down again. Okay, maybe there's, no, and it goes down again. Like, it was such a weird, whereas, like, sometimes I was like, oh my god, this is lit, I can't wait to watch it, and sometimes like, I am gonna put this shit down because I am done. I need something which feels good. I need something which actually makes me feel like, oh, I don't want there to be negative, and then I come back and it's like, oh my god, oh, how does this make any sense? How does it, okay, this makes sense. Like, wow, I did not see that. It's like such a ride. Attack on Titan is a fucking ride. So, yeah. I know everyone's gonna hate me for saying this, but I like Fairy Tail! Oh man, I love Fairy Tail. It went weird when it went to, like, the second season sort of thing. There were times there where I was like, what the hell am I watching? But Fairy Tail was, like, one of the animes which I really enjoyed. Seriously. Like, I seriously enjoyed it. I haven't finished it. I have at some point, like, moved on to, like, other things. I still need to, like, come back to the episodes which I haven't watched yet. But it was the one which, like, really resonated with me, like, in the way that it worked. Like, I really thought it was a really enjoyable anime. I don't know why it gets so much hate. Like, a lot of times shonen get, like, a lot of hate because, like, it's not cultural sort of thing. It's not like, oh, anyone can enjoy shonen. It's like, no. I mean, I think shonen can be good. So, I hate Fairy Tail. Yeah, it's a very controversial one, but I like it. Also, Nellis, I hope you're doing right, man. I hope your weekend has been alright. I love Gray. Gray is a very like Gray like the thing which I think is interesting with Gray is that like generally like he has so many like side character like second character sort of characteristics in the way that he's set up, but also like the infighting and stuff that's usually reserved for like side characters, not necessarily with the main character. If it's with, like associated with the main character, that's supposed to be main character too. But like the way that he's written is like actually quite kind of interesting. So yeah, all in all, another full some Greek. All the worlds are working endless, the agnostic cogs, the moon beasts screaming songs, the still length of the becoming and the end of all the numbering, the archonical strips so ancient to Canyon-land entities of poetry lost in watching, until forevermore. I feel a theme needs to go. This is a theme's way of saying, gotta go, be right back, gotta go, see ya. So, see you around, a theme. I can't read Greek yet, so unfortunately I can't give you an exact rating of that. I think that is Charumenos Ligo... No, Leo... Or is that no. That's rough. That's rough. It's been a while. Lupemonos, I think. I love Lupin the Third. I need to watch Lupin for good. Normally on the shonen side characters are more liked than the protagonist. I often find that's like initially people will really like the protagonist, and then like people will like learn to like really like the side characters, and then you'll have those people that are like, I am special because like I like Vegeta more than Goku. You're such a normie if you like Goku. Vegeta is like so much more real. It's like you do get people like that as well. So just saying. And saying things I really shouldn't reveal yet. Also, you're doing quite well. It's just been a while since I've been like in touch with like Greek letters. Like I actually have studied I've actually studied ancient Greek for like a couple of years, but it wasn't the best like class I had, sort of thing. It's weird. I enjoyed Case Closed filler its story equally. I can see that. Like the thing which I find with like Meitante Conan is that I can really enjoy the cases. But sometimes I'm just like, I'm so eager to see the story move on. So one thing which I just really enjoy with that series is I can just drop it, sort of thing, and like go watch something else and come back to it. I don't have to be like, oh my god, what happened before this? Like I sometimes have that with anime where like I come back and I'm like, oh my god, I don't ever remember anything. What has happened here? I am clueless. And Meitante Conan is just like, it's like you can just step in any time. No, I do recommend like watching it entirely. So yeah, that is like anime live. Anime Life-oo! I love Anime Life. Only Krillin because he got the best waifu. Oh man. You don't know what watching is. It's because most shonen protagonists are a one-note character and they all share the same characteristics. Yeah, generally. I kind of want to rewatch Hunter x Hunter again because like I started watching Hunter x Hunter like very early on in my like anime life sort of thing. Because of that, like I don't think I've been able to like really appreciate it. Like I was kind of like frustrated because I was used to like watching series where like the main protagonist has like a set of powers which is like kind of like stronger than everyone around them, and like they'll achieve something and all that sort of stuff. And then it's like in Hunter x Hunter, like Gon doesn't really have initially any powers. Like he's kind of like defenseless sort of thing, and like it's more human than like shonen where like the main protagonist will always like win and that sort of thing. So like that is something which like there were many points in time where I was like kind of frustrated with it, and I kind of want to go back to like see it again, maybe like appreciate it in a different way, because I literally just came out of One Piece and like started watching Hunter x Hunter. I was like, wow, this is so crazy. So yeah, but yeah, actually like I watched Dragon Ball rather late. Hunter x Hunter was a great anime. Like I appreciate it, but like not so much as like I don't think I fully appreciated it, because like there were a lot, like I was pretty much like we're looking for an anime that was like, oh yeah, good fighting, because like I was that age. So which Hunter x Hunter, the first that is really dark, or the second that's more lighthearted? I watched the second one, I think. So yeah, I'll go back to it and rewatch that when I have time, sort of thing, which I don't often have. Oh man, it's time management these days. That is like the most important thing. Dragon Ball. I still need to finish Super. Like I have finished Super when it comes to like watching clips, but I haven't really like watched it entirely. Because I have a lot of times where it's like, I have a lot of time to watch, and I like I won't have time to watch. I have a lot of time to watch, and I won't have time to watch, sort of thing. So, yeah. When it comes to like long running series, sometimes I need to like catch up again. What was I thinking about? I was thinking about something. There's just like a lot of seasonal anime where I can't wait for them to come back again. I really hope so. Yu Yu Rakusho, it's from the same author as Hunter x Hunter. I have not seen Yu Yu Rakusho. I've actually not heard of that either. Let me look this up. Again, country lock, for fuck's sake. I hate, like, region lock things. Alright, let's see here. Yu Yu Hakusho Ghost Files. I've not seen this. It's really... Okay, I want to watch this. I really want... A 112 episodes? Fuck yeah! I want to watch this. One day, 14-year-old Yusuke... Urameshi suddenly finds himself dead, having died pushing a child out of the way of oncoming traffic. Since he has such a bad personality, even the spirit world was caught by surprise that he would sacrifice himself. Yusuke soon finds out that he wasn't supposed to die, and has a chance for resurrecting and bringing his body back to life. After being resurrected, Yusuke becomes a spirit detective, along with his comrades, and one adventure after another happens, whether it be an investigation or a fighting tournament. I want to watch that. Fuck, I want to watch that. Let's see, my current favorite animes are Demon Slayers, Fire Force, and yeah, the slime anime. I love the slime anime. Oh man, I can't wait for that to come back. Demon Slayer, I need to watch the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I really hope that season 2 is coming soon, because like that has been like, we've already had a Dr. Stone season 2, a slime season 2, so Demon Slayer should come soon, season 2. So yeah. That is, yeah, I don't mind Death Note. The remake they did on Netflix was really bad. I like Death Note until, like, episode 25. After that, it's kind of like, I thought it was really, like, well-written sort of thing. Like, it's not, like, a genius masterpiece in the same way that Rick and Morty is. It's, like, it's fun to read. And, like, it was really fun to see that clash. And, like, the moment episode 25 happened, it was kind of like, yeah, okay. Okay. Demon Slayer has 2 movies now. Oh shit. Well, I haven't seen either of them, so like there's more to watch there. Yu Yu isn't all that good, to be honest. It was decent back then when it first released, but it has not held up after much time. I mean, I'll watch it because like I don't necessarily think that like old anime are necessarily so bad. Like I can see past the time period sort of thing, because like I really enjoy Meitante Conan for like the very early on like episodes, because like it really takes you back to that time period and like the way that people thought and like the way that things were made. Like I can really appreciate that. I think that's pretty amazing. So I like that too. But I can see like how it like hasn't really held up as well. So yeah. Let's see, Speaking of Stairs 2, like I mean I don't know, man. I thought it was only one that recently released, but if you say there's 2, I have no reason to doubt you. So, you know, I'll believe you, and I'm gonna have to watch both then. Oh man, anime is so fun though, and that said, like I don't only watch anime. Like the thing is, like I would love to also see what is it, Witcher season 2. I can't wait for Witcher season 2. That's something I'm looking forward to as well, very much. Let's see, Ghibli movies though. I mean, Spirited Away and The Cat Returns are my fave. I still have them on my plan to watch list, sort of thing. Like that is, oh god, it is so long. It is so long. For me, old anime has better pacing and better use of color theory. I can see that. I feel like what we had back in the day was that like making an anime was really expensive, and there was like the market was different. So the things that were made very consciously, in the sense of like, okay, we're gonna make an anime that's gonna last this long, or like, so stories were like more written out and like better paced. Whereas right now, like more anime are allowed to be made because of like the way that the internet streaming culture is. but that means that like people like start off with like an idea and like they'll pitch it for like 12 episodes and then see how it does and then continue on if it can or it doesn't. So like animes have to be structured in the sense that like in 12 episodes they can like conclude in a way that like they could end forever, or they could go on for like literally as long as One Piece sort of thing. So like that's the way that they make them now. I love Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. Love Howl's Moving Castle. The story behind the film is so good. Oh my god, I wanna... Okay, so like this is why I have in the Discord. Actually, like if you want to go to the Discord. Fuck, I don't have. I might. Does this work? Does this work? Do you have an exclamation mark Discord, or do you have to like? I don't know. Oh my god, I have it set up. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Does this still work? I don't know if that still works. Let me see if that still works. Might not work. Might not work. No, it works. Woo! Perfect. But yeah, that's why I have in Discord like the like must experience tab. Like if you have things where you're like, oh my god, this is so good, leave it in there. I don't have a lot of time. I'm always short on time, but if I will, like I'll go to that list and I'll just like go over like what you guys recommend. I'll go like and read it and like watch it and play it and all that sort of stuff, because like, yeah, I think, like, I love that. I stopped watching anime many years ago, and Dallas says, and started reading manga. But when I find interesting and unique title, when I find an interesting, unique title, I will jump into it. Like, Doro, for example. I've heard about that. I've heard about it. I've not seen it. But yeah, like, I intend to, like, go into manga once I learn Japanese, because, like, that would be something which I think is going to be really interesting to, like, watch, to like, read sort of thing for, like, getting more acquainted with the language. And then I would love to see, like, the difference between, like, the way that manga portrays something and, like, the way that anime portrays something. Because a lot of times there's differences, and, like, sometimes the one is better and sometimes the other is better. And it gives you more of, like, complete ideas, like, what a story is like. And I think that's really interesting. So, I love that, too. I love that, too. So, yeah. Anyway, so if you have anything, put it in, like, must experience. Because then, like, I'll have, like, a list noted down sort of thing. Because sometimes I'll be like, oh my god, that's so cool, and I kind of forget because I am also but a mere human who exists and doesn't have a perfect memory, unfortunately. So yeah. Oh man. Let's see. I think, oh man, we've almost been going on for 2 hours. That's insane. Doro was really good. Just wish it was longer. Oh, there's so many anime I use. Sometimes just wish were longer. Anyway, I think, speaking of some of you wish you were longer, the stream, I think I'm going to go and end the stream soon, because it is almost 2 hours in. I'm getting a bit tired, but I really enjoy the just chatting streams. Can I keep that in on Monday? Monday's always going to be just chatting, I think, as long as I think it's interesting. But I really enjoy it. I really enjoy just, you know, sitting talking to you guys about anime, about things, about random stuff. Tomorrow we're gonna go back to Horizon Zero Dawn. If you have PlayStation and you haven't grabbed Horizon Zero Dawn for free yet, go do that. You have 4 more days to do that. Go grab it. It's free. It's an amazing game. I want to continue that more and get further into the game. It's like why this world is the way it is, and why it's so beautiful, and why it's also so ugly. So yeah. Blue Demon says it's better that you read the original source material than that normally are web novels, light novels, and visual novels. That, I mean, like I would love to like be able, like I would love to experience multiple different things, but like I really want to get into like the manga when I can like read Japanese, because then I can read the original thing, sort of thing. Anyway, let's see. I think, okay, we have live right now. We have Ashi Shogi doing Warframe. We have Rio doing Apex Legends, and we have Nassif doing Helldivers. Let me know where you guys want to go to. What do you guys want to go to? Ashi Shogi Tenno, Life of Rio, or Nassif, and then I will send you guys to where you want to go. I'm really glad I found you. I'm glad that you came across the channel, and I'm glad you're here. And I hope to see you around tomorrow, same time, same place, and we'll be here. We'll probably be playing a game now. We're playing Horizon Zero Dawn, but, you know, doesn't mean we can't chat. So, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, and I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Because at the end of the day, that's why I do it for, because I enjoy it, and hopefully you'll enjoy it too. So, let me know where you guys want to go to, if there's any preference. Otherwise, I'll just be like randomly selecting someone. I will search for Horizon. It should just literally just be like, if you just go to like there's a special segment called for it's like the free stuff for like COVID sort of thing, like the home something. They call it a certain way, but yeah. Welcome to the family. You're not part of the family, Minnie. You are. Whether you want it or not, you're not part of the family, and it's a rowdy family because we have many different people here, but they're all awesome. Sure, can't wait for tomorrow. Hell yeah. Right. Seeing that there's no preference, let me send you guys over to Jiso. Ashi Shogi Tenno. Playing Warframe right now. Ashi Shogi Tenno just but his first kid. he's a pretty new dad actually. Like I think it's almost been like a month, I guess, which has been like insane. Like I remember when his kid was born, it's like what? It's crazy, but he's a pretty cool dude. He's playing Warframe right now as a game that I've played a lot of time. Cephalon Lies is okay with me. Yeah, he is Cephalon Lies though, because he claims that he is the original Cephalon, even though Cephalon Turbo is the actual original Cephalon. But anyway, so he's playing Warframe right now, which is a game that I used to play a lot, which a lot of people here in this community used to play a lot. Maybe still play a lot. Could also be the case. But he also plays a lot of Apex, and he's just like, he's a cool dude. I like him. So say hi to him. If you enjoy his content, follow him, stick along. If you don't, I'll see you tomorrow. So, oh fuck, I wrote that wrong. I added a soggy underscore Tenno. I'm going to let's see. I'm going to pop a stream later, possibly if I have time. Do what you want. Do what makes you happy. I actually like that more. Do what makes you happy rather than do what you want. Because do what you want always has that undertone of like, oh, just do what you want. It's like, no, just do what makes you happy. That's kind of what I want to say. So I'll say do what makes you happy, because that's actually more in line with what I'm saying. Anyway, say hi to Juso if you feel like it, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another stream.